right. Are we ready? I think we're ready.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Super Goon Experience. If you're joining on this fine night, welcome. I'm here today with 3 special guests. Well, make that 4, but one's a spectator right now because he's a little busy on a research paper for Harvard. So, I got a man here that's been on the podcast before. I'd like to welcome back Christian Pietrantoni. I got Joseph Michael Lee, a.k.a. Joseph Ricotta, and Dominic Purifier. Dominic Purifier, everyone. Welcome, guys, to the Super Goon Experience.
I like to be blunt here and just start it right off the bat.
Wow, that was fast.
No small talk.
No, I was going to ask you how you're doing. Like, how have you been?
Imagine a world.
How's work?
No, imagine.
He wasn't on the last one or anything.
Already? Imagine a world where we can't speak our mind, where the First Amendment is gone.
We're already there.
That's the world. That's it. You're living in that world right now.
That's kind of why.
I have to imagine it.
That's kind of why I asked you, like, imagine it, because
I am right now. I don't have to imagine it.
I know that's what I was going for.
I wake up every day in a world where I can't speak my mind, and if I do, I'll be stoned to death.
That's what we've come to. You know, it's funny because the world, thousands of years ago, it started off. It was like that too, where if you didn't believe in a certain religion, they'd kill you.
Yeah.
Thousands of years ago.
Or
Like
yeah,
2 BC.
if you weren't a Christian back then, they'd kill you.
Okay.
And you know,
Yeah.
then steadily we got better. 50s,
Yeah,
60s,
but, like,
70s,
you know what they say, like, history
Oh, we
repeats
discovered
itself.
America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we became better.
But
Now,
killed all them
history repeats itself.
Yeah.
We're going right down the path that our ancestors went down.
Yeah, because we're apes. We're just stupid.
All right, listen,
we're just
I think-
stupid primates.
Can we just talk about America here?
Wait.
Start from 1776 to 2018.
Okay, 1776. What happened in 1776?
The
Are you aware?
Declaration of Independence was signed. Or no, the
Is that
amendments.
is that fair?
Yeah.
Does everybody agree with that?
America was born.
And one of those amendments was the First Amendment, freedom of speech.
All right.
So, now, this day and age, can we even really call that an amendment anymore? I feel like it doesn't even exist anymore. Like,
an amendment.
you can't really go. You can't go out there and say certain things without. I mean, hell, you could even go to jail for saying certain things.
Yeah, I mean,
is it really freedom of speech?
Look what they
Dom,
did to.
Dom, when was it that they instilled the clear and present danger? Wasn't that the first, pushback on the...
That was like one of the that was one of the things where you can't scream like fire in a movie theater.
Or bomb on an airplane.
Or bomb on an
I don't know
airplane.
when they established that, but I imagine it was.
I think that was
early
one
on.
of like the rules that came with the
I think
amendment.
that was more like a
Well,
1920s.
it came-
That's just common sense.
It came way after the First Amendment was established because clear and present danger. Because you say something like bomb or fire, and you got everyone in a panic. Like you disturb
Well,
the peace.
Clear and present danger has a totally different meaning now. Meaning if it
Yeah.
violates your safe space.
I mean,
What's
let's
a
talk
safe
about
space?
safe spaces because
What is a safe space?
well nowadays it seems like
like I need a definition.
a
Of safe
person
space.
nowadays cannot say any single thing that will not offend. You're gonna offend someone if you say anything.
Well, yeah, but what's a safe space?
A safe space is a made up word by liberals. You see,
What do they refer to it as?
Like,
it's
a safe space-
a place where they can go and speak their mind freely.
no,
and not
they-
and not without the fear of being
they don't want to
judged by
be.
others.
Basically,
It's a sanctuary.
they want to be in a little bubble where everything that they say, they think everything they say is right. But as soon as you oppose them, you're like offending their.
Yeah, but I can see both sides doing that too. Not just liberals, but also Republicans.
But
I can
yeah,
see.
you could, but it's
imagine
mostly,
like a Republican, like
But,
you trash Trump.
Here's the
they
thing,
get pissed.
though. We really don't. Most people don't need a so-called safe space
Oh, I don't
because
need
we
a safe
have
space.
the First Amendment to protect whatever we say.
Right.
We don't. Like, why should people care what other people think about others?
because they get offended.
So it's an offense thing.
Yeah, people get offended and they want to be right.
Yeah, but that's the price we have to pay. I mean,
If we didn't, it would be Nazi Germany.
Well, let me bring up an example of something I heard just a few days ago on the Joe Rogan podcast. I was listening to him and Ben Shapiro. They were talking about what? What?
Little shout out.
No, just a little, yeah.
But Ben Shapiro was talking about how he can't go and speak at other colleges now without armed forces bringing him in, because they all throw temper tantrums. They flip. They were setting cars on fire because they didn't like what he had to say. That's like you break their safe space, and now it's like all out war.
Ben Shapiro doesn't need a safe space.
Yeah,
he just goes in.
People like that, like Ben Shapiro, doesn't take offense to other people. He argues against them, but
Well, it's natural to take offense to something.
Yeah,
he'll get
he might.
offended, but it's not the end of the
Not-
world.
not- to the level-
Not going to stop turning.
not to the level of these colleges.
Yeah, he's not going to
Right,
start like
Like-
an SJW movement and
Yeah.
start burning things
But
down and throwing rocks at
These kids at colleges,
windows.
they're setting cars on fire. They're punching or FIFA, whatever it's called. What is it called?
A lot of times,
Antifa.
Antifa.
it's not even targeted. They're just setting random cars on fire.
Right.
Yeah, because
of some vague
because
idea.
they're apes.
really, it's like some vague
We're all apes.
idea. Like this whole, remember
And I'm not being
when-
racist.
This is the underlying
I'm not.
tone
I'm
here.
not, I'm not
We're
being
all apes.
racist,
Just remember
but
that, guys.
all humans are apes. That's
All right,
what
Joe.
we are.
All right, Joe Rogan. Calm down. Calm down, Joe Rogan.
No,
We're not civilized anymore like we used to
Chris,
be.
That's not
it's
an
always,
excuse.
It's always some vague motive. Like when Antifa is throwing rocks through windows and destroying police cars
Yeah.
and tearing down cities. It's always some vague motive. Usually it's something along the lines of Donald J. Trump is causing something, so we got to destroy
But
the city.
Why
It's
shouldn't
gonna make a
someone?
difference.
Why shouldn't someone like Ben Shapiro be able to speak his mind at a college without?
Well,
Chaos
because
or
first of
mass-
all,
mass
it
riots.
is private property. So if you don't belong to the college, I mean, technically, I could see why they could throw them out. They could. They
But
could
the
throw.
college,
They could throw.
the college will welcome
Invite 'em.
them.
They-
though.
they
College
invite 'em.
Oh, I know.
welcomes,
It's the
yes,
kid.
but
It's the kids. Right. I understand that, but I'm saying if the kids don't like it and they have a problem, I guess they can take it to the.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. This
Take it to the
this
school.
generation of, mostly in colleges, these kids. You see, it's college.
the age.
But
Millennials.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, Ben Shapiro's doing it to, provoke them.
Yeah, but he's also speaking his mind.
He's trying to provoke thought, is what he's trying to do.
Yeah, that's all he's trying to provoke.
Yeah, and then they provoke their
But it
knives.
provokes
And they
violence.
provoke. They provoke.
That's what
their-
happens these days when you try to provoke thought.
Yeah.
You end up
Provokes the
provoking
switchboard.
And then
Yeah.
they provoke their inner rage. Like,
Whatever it is.
Critical thinking.
You so much as even touch their safety bubble.
Well,
and all out war.
they feel as if their safe space is being violated.
Mm-hmm.
But
There's no such thing.
I mean, a safe space is, how useful is it really?
When I think of safe space, I think of like physical safe space.
yeah, like arms
Right.
length.
Like I don't think of like.
well, how about when you're in physical danger?
That's a whole different.
Like,
but verbal
There's no
communication
such
is
thing
no
as-
physical
well,
danger.
We need verbal communication to move forward and evolve.
yeah, it's not even.
technically
From
freedom of
apes.
speech.
If we want to talk about apes,
Conversation.
Technically, freedom of speech is our safe space.
Yeah.
That's what protects us ultimately.
We've gotten to the.
Yeah,
It's
here
and
anyways.
like
yeah.
right here between
gotta let it
Mexico
go. You
and
gotta let it
Canada,
go.
it's
Right.
our own little safe.
So it's
space.
like their version. The safe space is like their version of the
It's
First
even more
Amendment.
watered down, dude. It's like you're going inside and just watering it down.
Keep it on your brain. You won't forget
All
it.
right, what we're saying?
Well, safe spaces, like
Just let it out.
they're going.
Yeah.
It's going too far. I have to say that safe spaces because it's not just political anymore. Let's say, for example, like things that are proven by science. People think they can just change genders. Science says you're a boy or a girl. Well, what do you think of that? Like science, you can't just get your gender changed, and then what if someone? I mean, you can't just say you're a girl if you're a guy. There are men out there that just act like a girl, but they still have a penis. They say they're a girl, and then it's just stupid.
Where'd that come from?
Here's a
Where'd this come
real life
from?
example of why safe spaces
Well, that
don't
is
work.
a real life example.
When we were in high school, we all had a teacher that we had for English. Remember, on his door, he had a sign on there that he said it was a safe space, right?
Was that Mr. Venus?
Yeah. It
Okay.
was.
I never
And,
knew. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
no,
Personal,
he
personal.
wanted it to be a safe space.
Gotta keep personal affairs out of the podcast.
Just use
He said that he wanted it to be a safe space, right? And he really promoted it, and he did a good job at doing it, opening us all up. But here's the thing: everyone would speak their mind.
Yeah.
But you can recall many times where people would make fun of other people
Yeah.
in the safe space because not everyone abides by
Yeah.
the safe space that's in the safe space.
I
So
look.
that pretty much just exposes them.
That
right
contradicts
there.
the entire idea.
Yeah,
of
so
safe
that
space.
just, I mean, it's a great concept,
Yeah.
but it just won't work.
right
because
it's not.
Not
it's
everybody wants to be in a safe space.
Not everyone cares.
Not everybody
I look
cares.
back at
It's
Mr.
not realistic.
I look back at Mr. E, and honestly, he never like. You could say anything to Mr. E, like any argument, and he wouldn't take offense to it. He'd argue it. He'd talk to you.
because
about
you
anything.
lead by example.
But
promoting.
He's
the-
very
we
fair,
need more
very
people like
fair.
him that like respect what you have to say. They might not agree with it, but at least they respect.
Just
it.
listen.
But now these people with the safety bubbles, you say something they don't like, and it's like a battle.
Yeah.
Just respect what other people have to say. If you don't believe in the same something as someone else, like you don't have to fucking. I'm sorry, I swore. Fight them. You can
Well,
bleep that
fuck
out.
here
You
and
bleep-
there is okay.
You can bleep that out later, right?
No.
So
Too much.
these
Too
are
much.
raw.
Well,
Too
I
much
mean-
out of
raw,
it.
dude,
Yeah.
raw.
I mean,
Untamed and
like,
untamed.
Joe Rogan does it, so why not here? You know.
Well, it's a true podcast.
I mean, we call this the. I mean, Joey. I mean, I'm just bringing up Joe Rogan because you based your whole podcast on
we're not like the Young Turks.
No, I didn't.
the Joe Rogan experience, the
The
Super
main
Goons experience.
influence.
He's an influence, yes, but he's not an inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Really.
Yeah.
well, you didn't have them.
Well, the Super Goon experience and the Joe Rogan experience, those are two completely different experiences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're
One
getting
Joe Rogan,
you're getting a
something
few
different.
nobodies versus a
Yeah.
celebrity. And
One
a
of
celebrity.
them's good, one of them's bad.
Yeah. Which one? Can you guess? Can you
That's
guess?
the- that's
Can
the
you
ultimate
can you
goal of
guess?
life.
Can you guess which one you're on?
Whichever one Chris that sounds like a planet. You're on.
Yeah.
If you're on.
You're on.
All right.
Let me get back
Take
to
it
that.
back. Let's dial it back.
Joey, you really haven't said anything to contribute. Why don't you go ahead?
I really haven't said anything because I haven't had a chance to speak.
Well, go ahead. Let it all out. Let it flow.
Well, there's nothing really to
Let it
say
flow
other
like
than
let it flow like the menstrual cycle.
Yeah, Joey, throw something in the mix.
Can I add to you started to talk about the whole sex and gender thing?
Actually, here. Oh, go ahead. I'll go next. I actually remembered something.
Well,
I
I
was gonna
want
say.
I want to see if Joey
Well, here,
has something.
Let me just
interesting to add.
say my quick point real quick then.
go ahead,
Because
say your quick point.
Going back to school with Mr. E, you know.
Oh, we're back on.
Yeah, just real quick. I want
Taking it
to
back.
add on real quick.
Right, rewind
Like
the
a
clock.
ping pong.
Set the
Do
clocks back.
Do you think
A year.
this safety bubble thing has to do with like teachers? Because some teachers are.
No, I think it has to do with the
let me
district,
finish,
but-
let me finish. Some
Okay,
teachers.
go
are-
ahead, finish.
Some teachers
why I
are
don't say
different than
anything.
other teachers. You see, teachers like Mr. E
Christian.
provoke free thought, but some teachers are like biased, maybe even like
Yeah.
social studies teachers.
Go to a college
Some of them will
campus.
teach you a way that they like. Maybe it's a little biased. Maybe they're teaching you to be something you don't want to like. Mr. E, he let everyone have a free mind, but like some of these teachers
Chris, why do you
control
think?
how you
Why do you
think.
think?
It's almost a form of indoctrination almost.
Why do you think we all think the way we do now,
The
Chris?
school system. Well, that's another day. I don't want to get off topic, but
Yeah, that's the whole.
let's go back
That's
to.
a whole different subject.
Now, Joey, I'm gonna
I'm
let
glad
you.
you cut it there.
I'm gonna let you flow.
Okay, I'm gonna see if
Not really a flow off if you just finished all the points that I
Joey,
had.
I
You
wanna
two
see
are
if we have
operating on the
something
same
to add.
frequency.
All right, so today, specifically today,
This is how a real podcast works when I watch and learn, Chris.
I really like this. I really like this podcast so far.
No, I mean between
It
me
is
and Joe.
good.
Go ahead, Joe.
I was in sociology, and we're talking about the difference between gender and sex.
Sure.
Sex apparently is a man or a woman if you have a penis or a vagina.
Correct.
Biology.
And gender. Gender is what you want. And
Okay.
this is what we're learning in college. This is just one example of.
Right, but there's
Crazy.
there's the scientific.
I mean,
You're going? You want to go? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I thought it was for Joey.
well, yeah,
I've been
but,
talking the last
but
20
real
minutes
quick,
now.
real quick.
Real quick. Okay.
The school system.
Mystery.
this has to do with what with Mr. Joseph Ricotta just had to say.
Okay.
Even the scientists like Bill Nye have came out and said that the gender spectrum we get to choose for a boy or a girl.
Yeah, well,
that
he's-
is totally insane.
He's bought and paid for,
Yeah.
Chris.
Well, you're either born a boy or a girl, and if you're a boy and you decide to get a sex change to a girl, you're still biologically a boy. And you see these boys, they go to join girls' sports, and then they
we
fucking
were just talking about that earlier.
they kick the shit out of girls, and guess what? It's okay because everyone's saying, oh well, they got changed to a girl, so they're a girl now. No, it's not okay because they keep the same bone structure.
the muscles, the everything.
The
Yeah,
hormones,
so
everything.
now you have a man that's
brain.
disguised as a woman kicking a woman's ass, and everyone's okay with it. And that's the
That sounds
era.
really eerily similar to the Joe Rogan podcast.
That's the
I just
era
listened
we're
to
living.
the
I
other day.
got that from Joe Rogan. I might have even stole it right from
I
under
think
his
you
belt.
did. I think you stole the words right out of his mouth.
Well, I
too.
did my research.
Do you have anything to add to my point?
Yeah.
No, Chris just said everything I could possibly think of.
Then back
So
to me again, or
No,
anyone?
You were saying something towards.
Here,
Joe,
I'll
right?
be quiet for a second. You tell
Do you
Joe.
have anything to add?
Chris, what's the Fifth
point?
Amendment, Chris?
The fifth one.
What did
Yeah.
you say? I forgot.
The Fifth Amendment is the right
I was
not
saying-
to indoctrinate yourself. No, turn yourself in.
I'm done. Dude, I'm trying to have it where
Educate yourselves, people.
one person can speak at a time, man. Can we just do that?
What's
so
the
we're
fourth-
not
what's the
yelling
fourth
over each other?
amendment?
Yeah, let's pick
Let no,
sticks.
let Ricardo go, right? Because he was gonna say something towards you.
He already did.
But I want
And then Chris had to
When
butt in for 5
somebody
minutes.
starts a point, let them go. Let them finish their point.
That's how podcasts
then move
work.
on to the next
Well, let's
person.
not talk about podcast etiquette during a podcast. So just go.
Well, you're the only one breaking it, so.
Okay, let me just say real quick. I'll interrupt you. Let me just say.
If I may, let me just interject.
Because listen, I have my brain.
This is how I want to spend my
operates
money.
on a
Your
certain-
brain,
My brain operates at a certain frequency.
Yeah, it's called
No,
it's called ADHD.
So wait, let's say you're talking for too long. I'm gonna forget an amazing point that I had.
Keep it in your head.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
That-
It's
he
your
doesn't
turn.
work like
Please,
that.
just
He
let
has to
Joe-
just spit it
let
out
Joe
Let's
talk.
let Joe
when he's not
talk.
on medication.
Okay, well, Joey didn't even get a chance to
Okay,
talk. 'cause
wait. I'll be quiet for the next 2 minutes, but you better make it fast. So go ahead.
Yeah, I
2
gotta
minutes
make-
is
I gotta-
120 seconds,
Okay.
I gotta
Chris.
cut it in
So
with that
When
2
this class
minutes.
you
is
can't make it any faster.
11:30
It's not even my point.
Go ahead.
I was asking Dom if you could add anything.
Yeah,
and
well,
he-
I forgot what you said.
all I said was that I think it's insane that that's what we're learning in college. Like, that's in higher education, and it's telling us gender is the choice and sex is the biology.
And you know the sad part of it too, the sad reality to it is that there's no escaping it. No matter what courses you take, no matter what you're majoring in, you're eventually somewhere down the line they're going to intervene with your true education.
Well, you see, that's because you have these college teachers, and I mean, they're in college now. They say whatever they want. Professors could have sex with their children if they want.
With their children.
But there's students.
With their students, yeah.
Did you watch porn before you came on the podcast today?
No, he's waiting.
Oh, he's thinking about
I'm
it.
just-
Hey, Nick. Do
I'm
you
just
have anything
saying.
to add to that, because
I'm just
you
saying.
might have dealt with this.
No.
firsthand.
I heard you say that you didn't learn any of that.
Because
No, I didn't.
colleges, these teachers, they're all biased.
No, that's not true.
They can
That's
say
not
whatever
true.
they
I have
want.
some
That's not
rated
true.
But you just said
professors that say
E
nothing,
wasn't biased.
that They'll say whatever. They're
Yeah, but
just
then
gonna
you have
go
that
by
one
the book. They
stupid
seem like,
asshole.
shut up for 1 fucking second.
Hey,
There are professors that will just act like high school teachers and teach the material and won't say anything bad. But there are also the professors that go and say, well, this guy's a fucking lunatic. Like, I have a professor that talks about his career and he teaches by what he's done in his career. And he said, yeah, I arrested this guy. He's a fucking lunatic.
Well,
And he gives his personal opinion on shit.
Time to
He
fire
doesn't
those
care what
people.
people think. He's not going to offend anyone. He said something.
Yeah, but
He
they're
said
all people.
derogatory things about certain groups of people.
We're all
He
people
doesn't
with
care.
personal opinions,
well,
and here's
you know
the
what?
here's the beauty of it, Chris.
You have
Here's
to
the beauty
it's
of
something
being
you
a
have to
person.
learn.
He's got a
Here's the
point.
beauty
Okay,
of being.
hurry
Here's
up.
the
Said
beauty.
4 times,
Hurry
go
up.
ahead.
Here's the beauty. Well, you keep interrupting me, so I have to keep repeating
Just
myself.
go. Just go.
Here's the beauty about being a person. Okay, if a teacher's laying information on a student and it's biased information, guess what?
What?
The student has a brain, right?
yeah.
Student has resources at his fingertips, right?
Yes.
So the student's able to make fair
As
assessments by himself,
After
right?
a certain age.
Yeah. Well, here, that's a
Discern
fine line.
conclusion.
So why doesn't the
That's
kid
a-
do his own research
That's a
instead of
fine
listening
line
to his
between.
professor?
Listen, that's a fine line between
He
indoctrination,
should.
indoctrination, and teachers speaking their minds.
Chris, when I think
I
of
know.
indoctrination, I think of a fucking
Listen,
2-year-old in his crib.
Honestly, go ahead.
I don't think of a fucking college kid being
No,
indoctrinated.
No, they're not. Let the college teachers say what they want because they're adults now. The kids can make their own educated guesses or like make their own thoughts. But you have kids that are 5 years old, and that's when their brains are being shaped.
Yeah, well,
That's
what
indoctrination.
Joey was saying, what he was getting onto, is very true. More people need to be doing their own research on top of what they're learning and make their own assessments on things, but that's only after a certain age, like
Yeah.
people start, kids start really thinking. This is just my personal experience. I started thinking for myself sometime during high school.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, really started thinking for myself, forming my own opinions, regardless
What
of
age?
what I was being taught, because after a certain point,
Right.
you can get to the point where you're being lectured on something, and the professor will be talking, giving you his either facts or opinions. You could be thinking in your head,
This is
I agree,
bullshit.
or this is complete horseshit,
Right.
and you just tune it out. But that didn't happen for me until what would you say, like
Well,
10th grade?
I mean,
9th grade?
15 years
Yeah.
old.
You look on Snapchat. Think about the age group that's on Snapchat.
High schoolers.
There's probably from 10-year-old to let's say 20-year-old. That's your age group on Snap, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Ideally.
Snapchat is a biased app.
Well, it's
And
owned
if
by a
you-
company.
And if you look at the news outlets on Snapchat, you get liberal outlets.
It's bad.
So you get CNN.
Oh.
You get what else do you get on there?
I don't know,
It's
I
so
wouldn't
You
know.
see it.
It's all
I
liberal.
see it every
It's
day.
all liberal.
So
I don't even go over that
So
anymore.
that's the thing. So this relates to indoctrination. You got a 10-year-old on Snapchat seeing fucking Trump's fucking head being held up by fucking Kathy Griffin with blood dripping down
Well-
from it. So it's what do you think? What are you going to think about Donald Trump at 10 years old?
And that's just the beginning. That's just
That's
a
just-
scratching
yeah,
the
that's-
surface.
Let's go
Scratching
back
the
even
surface.
further to when kids were when they're first 3, 4, 5 years old. It's a scary thought that
Yeah.
if you have a liberal parent, they're gonna try their best to make their kid form the kid into their own little robot.
Yeah.
Religiously, they're gonna make them believe in a certain
Listen,
religion, a
there-
certain government. It's fucked up.
I have no problem with
Indoctrination
liberals.
should be
I have
legal.
a problem with radical liberals when they push their views through violence and aggression.
Right.
So it's okay to raise your kid liberal. I think
absolutely.
I think it's great to have liberals.
I
think it's great to have conservatives.
Yeah.
You got to have a
You
mix.
gotta have
You got to
contrast.
have a mix
It's like-
because then there won't be any different opinions.
Well,
It's like red and
Here's
blue.
a-
no groups to
You should
come
let-
to a conclusion on.
It is red and blue.
Yeah.
You should let your kid make their own decision at a certain age. You shouldn't train them when they're 5 years old to believe everything that you tell them. You should let them make their own
What
decisions.
you should
in life.
do is just instill
Religion,
them
you shouldn't-
with moral values and a good idea of what the world's about, and then let them discover what they can when they're 15, 16 years old for themselves.
I'm not gonna tell my kid that they have to be an atheist or something because I believe in that. I'm not gonna tell my kid, oh, you don't believe in God. I'm gonna let them live their life and make their own decisions. I'm not gonna force shit. My grandparents made me go to school, a religious school when I was a kid, and I got confirmed into the church, and
look
I'm
at
an
you
atheist now.
Like you
I thought for myself.
You formed an opinion.
Yeah. See, I think the best way to teach a young child that's still being molded is to give them both sides of the story.
Yeah.
That's really how you get the juices flowing in a kid's head.
Because they pick and
Be-
choose.
Because they pick
Right,
and choose.
right, right.
They start. Then you have a kid that's forming his own opinions, his or her own opinions, from a young age, and
that's how it should be.
that's really beneficial.
That's how it
honestly.
should be.
It's scary when you have these parents, the evangelions, those that religion.
Yeah.
They force their kids from birth to live by a strict moral code, and they can't have sex, and they have to worship God every waking moment of the day. They're like soldiers almost. Parents are training their kids to be soldiers for God. It's messed up.
well, it's a culture.
Religion,
What's that one video? That one. Remember the Harry Potter thing?
Jesus Camp.
Jesus came.
Did we watched
yeah,
that?
yeah.
That was crazy.
The wizards and witches and stuff.
If you believe in Harry Potter, you're going now.
I mean, I believe in God and everything, but just the way that they were being taught is just sickening. It looked
Yeah.
like a cult meeting.
Dude,
It
they were
was a
speaking.
cult.
They were speaking in tongues. They were like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
Oh man, that was 3 years ago or something.
And that's
And the kids were
that's
crying.
really happening right now. on planet Earth, that
things
stuff's
that are,
happening.
things that are worse.
At
than
one
that.
point-
It's not even that bad in
No.
America compared to, say, the Middle East.
In that documentary, at one point, the woman said
Unbeknownst to some.
that, like, down in, the where they strap bombs to themselves in other countries for their religion.
Yeah.
And she's like, we need to get our kids to hold a gun for God.
Yeah.
To, like, go out to war for God. It's like the Crusades all over again.
It's very similar. The war is still going on
Yeah.
over in the Middle East.
It's religion.
It's bad. You thought it was bad
And
here.
there-
It's worse over there. It's just bad
The bubble
here
popped.
because this is America. And
The
that's
bubble
not how
popped.
it should be. We should have none of that.
There's safety bubble. Countries have safety bubbles too. You pop the religion, there's a holy crusade on your hands.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But then what do you get with no religion?
What do you get with no religion? Well, religion should just be a free thing. If you want to believe in it, you believe in it. If you don't, you don't. But there shouldn't be a
But
doctrination.
there has to be
wars.
contrast either way. There has
Contrast.
to
Yes,
be
there is
What do you
contrast.
mean by
But
no
there
religion?
doesn't have to be conflict, though.
no belief, no belief system. So what do you get with?
So you're saying
What do you get with? What do you get with a planet with all atheists on it?
Well,
Nothing matters, man. There's no morals. There's no
Okay,
good and
Joey,
evil.
listen.
Well,
now you're going.
Listen, okay.
Well, scary.
Wait. Are you talking about religion, or are you talking
Talk about
like,
anything.
moral system?
Well, let's say like belief in religion or no
like a
belief
higher
in
power.
religion.
Well, there is
Sure.
belief in religion.
Well, I don't have a belief in a higher
Are
power.
you saying that it's
But
wrong?
I'm saying a
for,
planet.
like-
I'm planet with all atheists on it. So
I think
every
that
human on
honestly-
Earth is an atheist.
Well, that would be very hard to think about.
for me to
because-
follow you, I gotta get you clarify.
Well, here, let me ask you this real quick.
Hold on.
Chris, hold up.
I want you to clarify this by what you mean. What you mean by no religion? So, are you saying a planet that religion hasn't been thought of yet, or a planet
No, I'm-
that has been designed with no religion? Like everyone believes that there's no religion, or it's just hasn't been brought up.
No, everyone that knows that there is no.
Oh.
There's nothing.
Do you think that's bad?
Well,
Yes.
you
You think it's bad?
I think
But why?
knowing that there's nothing after death is bad
Why?
because of people's morals.
Some of the greatest scientists are atheists.
Doesn't matter. If everybody on Earth was an atheist,
It'd be more peaceful, I think.
I think
Absolutely
it would be
not.
absolutely more peaceful.
Yeah, no
Absolutely
one would
not.
have to fight over
I
religion.
disagree-
No,
I
there'd be no
disagree.
fighting.
I disagree
over
with you 100%.
religion. There'd be no war.
okay,
Where do you
so
believe?
I could. Okay, so me being a Christian, me knowing killing someone's going to put me in hell. I'm scared to go to hell. I don't want to go to hell. But if I knew there was no hell, fuck it, man. I'm killing you
Well,
tomorrow.
there's still
I'm killing
no,
you tonight.
That's
explains a lot.
that's so stupid because I'm an atheist.
It
And I'm
should
not
be
gonna
common
no.
sense, though.
Real quick, I'm an atheist, and I don't say I'm gonna kill someone. You know why? Because consequences. I'll go to jail for the rest of my life. There's my life.
Okay, but take away. Let's.
But
say-
if
Like,
if
that's a
there's
super
no
specific-
meaning, I'll just kill myself right after.
No meaning. Life is the meaning. Living for 80 years and just doing the best
then
you
what
can,
comes
having
after?
fun. Nothing. What? Maybe nothing comes after.
Biologically, think about this.
But
It's
I'm
all
saying,
about the ride,
I'm
man.
saying you
Hold
said
up,
maybe
hold up,
nothing
hold
comes after. I'm saying knowing that nothing comes
Okay,
after.
well, it's all about the ride. It's like a roller
There's
coaster.
no fucking ride
Yes,
if
there
there's
is
no
life.
fucking end it.
guys,
See,
So
What's
how,
the ride if there's no destination?
I'm
Right.
an atheist and I'm happy. I know there's nothing after life.
I agree with that.
I disagree.
Well,
You don't know that either.
I respect your
Do you
decision.
have
but
you
I'm an
died
atheist.
before?
I know I haven't. And guess what? If I do die, and let's say
No, you're
Krishna-
going to die.
Okay,
So there's no
when
if.
I die, when I
So
die,
what do you think?
and if there is a religion, if there is Christianity,
Probably a heart attack by the
if
end
there
of it.
is Christianity, chill. I'll bring up Esgy. Say heart
just
attack.
did.
Say
You
heart
just
attack.
did. There you go.
Wait, don't say heart attack, man. Thank you.
Right on the podcast.
You can bleep both of those out. or
I'm not
else-
gonna bleep it out.
Okay. Now can you let me without like insulting me? Can I talk?
I'm not insulting you.
Just because I have a different religion doesn't mean I have to like talk about heart attacks now.
You don't have a religion at all.
Okay, don't.
You don't have a
Now
religion.
let me finish my point without you being
Religion is
disrespectful
McDonald's and
on our podcast.
finish your point now.
Now listen. Let's say I'm gonna die one day, and
let's say
there's a Christianity and there's a God.
There's a Christianity.
now I'm gonna say if there's this God up there, I would expect him to be at least respectful enough to accept me into heaven if I didn't believe in him. Like, is God really that awful that he's gonna? If I lived a good life, is he really gonna send me to hell because I didn't believe him?
There's a book of rules, Chris.
Is he really gonna send me to hell because I didn't
There's
believe
rules
him?
in the getting
Is
to
he
heaven.
really gonna send me to hell because I don't believe in him?
Listen, going back to where we were,
Oh, he's gonna
what
throw-
we were
please,
talking
let's
about
go back.
Throw
on
asteroids
morals,
at the earth.
on
on
morals.
morals. Let's hear it.
I have a provocative thought that I want to hear you guys' opinions on.
Well, you're only going to get one.
Where
so.
do you think that the idea... How do we know that killing someone is bad? Like, we feel it deep down. You know that if you kill someone, you have remorse. But why do we know that it's bad? Where does that
Where did it
come
originate
from?
from?
Yeah, where did it originate?
Oh, well,
Where do you think it originated from? Because there might not be a definitive answer.
You want to hear my theory?
wait. Well, okay, go ahead. I'll go next.
This is my theory.
We'll go one at a time.
Our biological imperative is to push our species ahead. So that is the underlying motive. Like, I don't have those strict rules. I don't have a guideline that says there's a God watching me every second. So I don't have that kind of, like, remorse. But if there was no laws and this was, like, a free society and I could just murder someone, just like The Walking Dead or something, I could just murk you right now, I still wouldn't. Unless, of course, you're trying to harm me because of the fact that if we're talking about biological imperative, where you think it comes from, my theory where it comes from is that we don't just feel the need for it. Like, we want to push our species ahead.
So we have
like,
a common goal.
Right. Whereas you take, like,
That's interesting.
Take like psychopaths and stuff. Like, psychopaths don't have an idea of a moral code. And that's because, like, they're not thinking about it.
That's so crazy, though, because if you think about it, it's so interesting because we have a common goal. Like you're saying, that's your theory, that we all have a common goal as a species, but...
It's just subconscious. It's not like, hey, let's fuck and, like, make babies. But you just do it.
On the contrast to that, though, we have survival of the fittest,
Well,
which is crazy. So what lies between, like, what happened since survival of the fittest?
Well,
you
here,
know?
let me say
Like,
my...
What do you mean by that, though? Like, elaborate. What do you mean?
We
by
are
that?
playing survival of the fittest.
We are, but we aren't. Like, I think we all have a common goal because no one wants to hurt each other, really. I mean, there are people that do, but as a whole, in general, we want to.
But we're
progress.
eating cows.
I think the concept of
It's survival of the fittest.
back then, like when we were, say, cavemen, I think this originated. You know, we're like a pack of wolves. We want to stick together to achieve a common goal. If we die off, that we're less powerful as a group.
If there is a weak link in the pack,
So-
what happens?
Let's
to
just take a
the
group of
weakest
cavemen,
link,
right?
The wolf.
And they're all trying to go hunting,
Yeah.
right? One of them dies, they become a less powerful group of
Or
hunters.
more powerful group.
No, if one of the cavemen die when they're going out on the hunt, like one of them gets eaten.
Well,
by a
right,
wolf.
but that
Depends
was
on who it
a
is.
weaker caveman. Right, if that was,
Okay.
like, the leader that got
But-
fucking murdered
you know,
or eaten by a
the-
saber-tooth.
Then it's the fight
like
for the next alpha.
you know that's
Right,
you know
right.
that's when they die, like you know they're dead. Like nothing came of it.
Yeah.
What? Why would they have any need to kill each other back then? You kill each other, what do you get from it?
It probably has a lot to do with environmental factors.
Environmental, like what do you mean?
I mean, say, this is just hypothetical. Say the world, our environment's going to shit.
Yeah.
Most people are going to want to band together and stick it through and progress like the common goal, the whole common goal theory.
Mm-hmm.
But if we lived in a perfect world, would it still remain, that concept?
Perfect world.
Yeah, if we lived in a perfect
With
world,
what? What do you
our
mean?
environment, we had nothing to complain about. And we're just a bunch of people just living amongst each other. I mean, we're not working together to solve anything, is what I mean.
Well, I don't know, because you look at animals. We're animals, right? So look at a lion. No, we're animals. Look at a lion.
Okay.
Rapes.
Look at a lion.
We are.
Look at a lion.
Okay, what about it?
Look at the line.
Sometimes it kills because it's hungry, and sometimes it kills.
But it kills other species.
To be dominant.
Sometimes it kills.
to be dominant. Well, there's not a moment where it kills out
For
of
game.
revenge.
Yeah, for game. Well,
That's
For
what a
food.
psychopath is, right?
yeah, so
it's killing
so
for game.
you're saying that that's a.
So I'm
a
saying
deviant of the
it's
species.
instinct. In our blood, it's instinct to kill. So no matter, even if we lived in a perfect world,
Not.
there's going to be
Not
psychopaths.
for fun
But
though.
you don't see-
Not like Hannibal Lecter.
You don't see this mostly the same species aren't going to attack each other. You don't see lions like killing other lions for food. They hunt zebras together. You don't see them like killing each other for food. You don't see lions attacking
No,
lions to
he's
eat
got
them.
a point. there's not like just some like psychotic
lion
going around.
Lions stick together, and they might fight for like mates or something, but I don't see lions just going at it and killing each other for
Listen,
the sport.
my goal was to tie this back into freedom of speech. Like this,
How on earth are we
this-
planning to do that, Dom? Because we're far gone now.
because our freedom of speech is turning into survival of the fittest.
Right.
It's a
not-
war.
I could see that.
It's the left
You know what I
versus the
mean?
right.
Mhm.
Which one will prevail?
Well, yeah.
Which set of
and it
ideals
should-
will?
We
be
should have
future?
the common goal, but it's heading towards.
Well, there was a civil war
So, like,
before.
Are you saying like basically one day the world is either going to be completely left or completely
But
right?
no, this ties back to the environmental factors. What is causing us, our environmental factors, to turn from a common goal to survival of the fittest? That is what we're trying to figure out.
My mind is so simple. I don't understand what you
Well,
just
can we talk about survival of the fittest for a second? What
Yeah.
is fundamentally survival of the fittest?
Survival of the
Well,
fittest. That's exactly what you just said.
It's where you
It's
care about yourself.
Yeah.
You wish to live on. But
Well,
survival of the fittest in its most raw form is not caring about what happens to others, right? I mean, in a sense, right? Does that make sense?
No, well, here's the thing to add on to that. What survival of the fittest, biologically speaking, is that if you look at we just talk about like lions and stuff because it's easier to analyze than humans. So let's take the example of lions. Two big male lions with manes fighting over a female lioness.
looks like the
And
symbiote.
they're fighting to mate with her.
Yeah.
They want their genes to continue on.
Yeah.
That is survival of the fittest. It's science.
Well, I have a point to make. You see, we have survival on the fittest of the fittest.
Survival on a stick.
Listen, we have survival of the fittest on a single person level, and then we also have it like statewide and countrywide. Like survival of the fittest for one person
intrapersonal.
might be to become a businessman and like take over a company. But then again, like the United States, right now we're the survival of the fittest out of all the countries. We made the most strides.
Well,
so
I feel like
so-
survival of the fittest,
wait.
the definition of survival of the fittest can't be defined because survival of the fittest could be different for every individual here. Like your survival of the fittest could be different from my survival
like
of the
different
fittest.
agendas.
So like, if you're a cannibal, you're gonna eat people, and that's your survival of the fittest.
So
to eat people.
we could. What
But
do
we
you-
all agree that
Yeah.
we want to mate with a female partner
Yeah.
at some
Yeah.
point
So-
and have some babies.
And, like,
Right,
buy
to
a house,
reproduce.
buy a
But
car,
that's
become
reproduction. Is
successful
that
money.
survival of the fittest?
No, I'm talking about
Not
the
very much.
underlying reason behind everything we do. I don't care about social agendas. I don't care about cues. I'm talking about what we're doing in life. The
We're just-
reason we are here.
We're having sex and we're dying.
I'm
That's
interested.
what
I'm
it's
interested to
about.
ask you guys a question.
We are eating. When you go out and get yings
Mm-hmm.
at 1 o'clock in the morning, you are sustaining life the next day to possibly
Personal.
reproduce. That's what you're doing.
Yeah. So my goal is to plant my seed inside of a female.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Can
my
we- can we-
underlying
Yings
guys,
at 1
can we
o'clock
say-
in the morning
to
do that.
to do that
To
because
stay
it's
alive
like
to
instinct.
do that.
Could we safely say that survival of the fittest arises, the concept, when there's a problem at hand? Like you said, there's two lions fighting over a lioness. There's stimuli that causes that. And I think in our day and age, that stimuli on a more modern level
It's money.
is diversity. It could be money too. There's so many.
Yeah, there could be
But
other
I'm relating
factors.
This is all
to
social factors, though.
to back to the freedom of speech thing.
Well, I have a question for all you guys.
Our diversity is causing a problem, and it's
Um,
turning it into survival of the fittest.
You guys think that one day that a certain ideal will prevail, survival of the fittest, like the left or the right will completely take over, and one will live under a certain set of rules?
I don't believe so.
Like, do you think one day
No.
like that
Because
one thing is going to take over, and we're going to have to
I
live by
don't
that?
because there's always going to be people who want to uprise.
Yeah,
if
but
if you don't
There's
uprise
always gonna
against
people-
But
be
steady
people who
gain in
know what's
power.
right.
It's a possibility.
a steady gain in power. What if one of them?
Yeah,
eventually
but it
becomes
would
so
never
powerful?
last. It wouldn't be like for 200,000 years this
Right.
reigned.
Well, it
would be
has.
2 years.
In the past,
Yeah.
it has. But different, like hundreds of years ago, like areas were shaped by
Thousands
ideas.
of years ago.
Yeah, like
Roman
places.
Empire.
like Rome.
They were shaped by certain ideas, and they completely changed.
Yeah, but that was one region, and that was for a certain time period, and that wasn't how we are
could be art.
nowadays.
I know.
We
Yeah,
are
we
so
have
much
such
more,
a different
we're
set of
we are
sophisticated.
so much more like aware of
Yeah.
each other.
We're
I mean,
sophisticated.
And
Socially
There's
intelligent.
just so
And
much
socially
coming down
intelligent.
on us right now. Each new
and
generation,
politically correct.
yeah, each new generation that comes out faces a new set of problems on top of the old ones. I mean, now people
You
are worried
gotta
about global
start
warming.
naming these
You know, like
after
the
the
Romans
subject, so
weren't
people
worried
can
about
pick on the
global
subject
warming.
and
It's just every
Right.
new generation. There's
Just have the
more and
numbers.
more and more problems.
It's
We
too-
have more
it's
and
too
more and more
diverse that we
people
always jump
with
around.
more and more and more, diverse
And now,
views.
well, now it's on a global basis, like all these issues. Like
So
in the
maybe this
description
was
of
all
the Roman
bound to
Empire.
happen.
Maybe
Maybe
in
this
the
was all bound
description.
to happen.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Not as the title,
We'll see
though,
if
it'd
we'll
be
go
too
back to the
confusing.
Ice Age or humans will die off, but that's a whole different discussion.
Something crazy.
I feel like we're eventually something's going to trigger a collapse.
An
in our
extinction
society.
event.
Maybe a certain event.
It could be a
but
civil event.
Riots.
It could be
I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing riots across the country.
Riots.
Maybe immigration. That's causing. Some people think that we should have open borders. Some people, like there's a group of immigrants.
Well, what do you think, Chris?
Oh, there's a group. Of
What do you think?
I'll tell you what I think.
Tell me what
I'll
you
tell you
think.
what I think, 'cause
What do
there's
you
a-
think about open borders, Chris?
I'll tell you what. You have open borders. You don't have a country. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
If you have open borders, the whole
Well,
world is a
don't you-
zoo.
don't
it's
you
a
think-
zoo for the
don't you-
apes.
don't
No,
you-
let
don't-
me.
hang
You
on.
asked
Don't
me
you
what my
think-
idea was. Let me finish, please.
Don't scream, dude.
All right,
No,
I'm so
be-
passionate
be
about this.
normal.
I'm so passionate about this.
Be a fucking civilized
all
human
right,
being.
all right. Listen, a civilized ape.
Stop shaking that. You don't have to shake
Okay.
that. It's gonna pick that shit
So
up.
it's not a
No,
mic,
listen.
man.
I'm so passionate about open borders right now. No, I think we shouldn't have them. We have a group of immigrants coming here right now, and let me tell you, we should not let any of them get into our country. We should either. I'm not saying kill.
They're
kill.
not immigrants, Chris.
Well, like kill is a last.
We're immigrants.
Kill is a last resort. I'm thinking we need to like arrest them, detain them, send them back to their country. If we have open borders, we don't have a country. We need to keep these people out. They're
Because-
taking our jobs.
because what makes a
They're
country,
taking our
Chris?
women. They're taking our food. They're taking
Because
everything.
borders.
taking our women, they're taking our food.
This goes back to the whole survival.
Because borders. Because
I mean,
borders.
Joey,
Your women, Chris?
I'm not going to say a
Because-
specific girlfriend,
Because
but
borders is
you've
what
had
makes
girls.
a country.
You've had girls in the past, and you've been dating them, and then they'll start dating another like
it happens to all
group
of
of
us.
people,
Yeah, maybe they don't like.
and
the
you
white guy.
and you've got upset about that in the past.
My ex-girlfriend left with a baboon. This is where we're at
Okay,
nowadays.
let's.
AKA another human.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I literally meant a baboon.
That's what Chris would say.
I literally meant a baboon.
Like,
this
really?
is like interspecial dynamics we're talking about at this point.
Not
But it's
racial.
2018.
Not
it's
racial.
acceptable.
Not racial. Well, one more point before we end the podcast. I want to talk about race real quick.
I need to. Before we end it, I
Well,
feel
yeah.
like Joey needs to
Well, here.
have more input. He
One-
hasn't
one-
had a chance.
he'll have
No,
input.
I'm fine. No, I'm good.
He's gonna have input on this because I know Joey's passionate about this. Nowadays,
say
like
Joey's
no,
input
nowadays
too.
like the white male is like the worst thing you could be in America right now. Like, if
Well,
you're
be
no,
more specific.
like black people cannot be
Straight white male.
No, yeah, they can't. Like black people can't be racist. I guess, but we can be racist. Why as a white male do I not have the same rights as a black man to speak my mind?
Well,
Joey?
there's-
Go ahead.
I honestly, I blocked out every word you just said.
I said
really did.
you're a straight white male, right?
Okay.
In America, people don't. A lot of people are against straight white males. They think that we're the most racist of the bunch.
homophobic, xenophobic.
I'm not homophobic. I'm not xenophobic. I'm not racist, but I can't speak my mind because I'm looked at as racist. Like,
Right, if you say something, you're ridiculed for being all those three things.
yeah, like I can't speak my mind
That's
as a
the
straight
main
white
point.
male because like apparently I'm a racist.
So what? You're
Yeah.
answering your own question here.
And Joey,
Well, I wanna know what you think.
Joey, what's your input on this?
I still don't know the question.
And-
Here,
okay.
let's give him an open
Do
question.
you think
Because you're
Just add
closing.
to
it.
that
the
being a
discussion.
straight white male?
I got nothing to
Do
add.
you think
or
we're
not.
privileged? Do you think we're privileged?
What do you mean privileged?
Do we have like white? Do you believe in white privilege?
No.
No.
It's a thing that's.
Well, do you want to elaborate?
Because
thing
there's
that's
black
not-
people more successful than me right now. So what's white privilege? What does that mean?
I think everyone.
There's Chinese people more successful
You
than
have a
me
step
right now.
ahead, but the truth is, there's
Well-
affirmative action and stuff that literally gives us a step behind. So
Honestly,
it's like,
though,
what's the
I
point?
think that white people do have that one step ahead, in the sense that.
Not now.
Well, yeah,
Not
yes
anymore.
now, yes now, because
I don't think anymore.
look in Buffalo, everyone there's black.
So you believe
We're
in white
segregated. We are
privilege?
still
the
whether
ghetto, man.
no whether we like it or not, we're still segregated in a sense. Look in a
Yeah,
look,
we were deeply segregated.
look in a wealthy neighborhood, mostly white people.
I disagree.
No, black people. I'm not being
It's-
racist, but look, They start off in a lower income house.
It's the way-
neighborhoods have a higher.
It's
rate
the way
of
they're
like-
brought up, and that goes to show with
Yeah,
anybody
but
because
some
you
of
can
them-
have a white
no,
black person.
Some black people cannot afford to go
white,
through college. Their parents can't afford to put them through college.
and white.
Yeah, but I know, but it's more on the black
There
scale.
are poor white kids. What are you talking
So fucking
Yeah, but
tell the
it's
black
more on
person
the
to
black
pick up a
scale.
fucking book, start reading, study,
I
go to
know.
fucking school, and be successful.
But
That's
as-
what they do.
But as a white person, we do have
And they do.
another step up.
And they do.
We have.
So it's
we tend
it's
to come
no.
to
There's
grips
no
around
such
it.
thing as white privilege.
I know that. Well,
There's no such thing. There is no such
there
thing.
Really isn't.
There's no such thing. Everybody has
everyone
a fair
has
shot.
privilege, but
Everybody has a
I
fair.
wouldn't say everyone has a fair shot.
Everybody has a fair shot.
'Cause-
I can be a black
Oh, yeah,
guy
tell me about
raising
that.
up.
Why are they all?
They're lazy. It's the way they're brought up.
Yeah.
Hey,
No,
guys.
it's he's kind of right. Like there's a
Black
high,
people
there-
are lazy.
there-
Joey's
It's not
running a
what I said.
podcast.
No,
Can
it's
we
not
bring
what I
this
said.
around?
In a
Can we bring this
higher-
around? Finish your thought.
I don't know where I was because it's chaos, but
Yeah,
it's true. I mean, no matter how bad we sound for saying this, the facts don't lie. The statistics don't lie. They exist. And, you know, blacks are more likely to live in higher crime, lower income areas.
But you guys are all saying to me that I'm wrong. I just said that they have a lower shot because that's where they're living. That's where they start off.
That is not
It's hard.
true,
No,
because
it's
they
harder
go to
for them to
school.
get their first steps when they're living in a lower income, higher crime area.
It varies by person
Yeah.
to person. This is by this
But
is
I'm talking about on the
individualistic.
mass scale. It's harder for most
on the-
black people to get started.
On the mass scale, it's not individual.
Yeah,
I
on the
can't-
mass
yeah.
scale, it's not.
Yeah.
But in the-
Individually, no.
Yeah, because I mean, think about it. If someone inherently was brought up in a low income neighborhood and, you know, they came from a family that wasn't money, sure,
Like
they got some
Eminem,
obstacles ahead of them.
Marshall
But-
Mathers.
It's harder for them.
But Joey is right because
I mean, I'm a living,
they
breathing
have
example.
they have just as many means necessary
Yeah.
to
Black
advance
man?
to
No.
wherever they want to go. You know, because I mean, we live in a capitalistic
Quality of
society.
opportunity, but
It's
not
just,
like
like,
quality of outcome.
they have
Right,
equal
yeah.
opportunity. I'm just saying it's a bit harder for them. It's going to be a little harder.
I was-
individually speaking.
But I was
Why
brought
does
up.
that stop them.
It doesn't stop them, but it's just a little.
Okay,
it's a
so
little harder for
explain to
them
me this.
All I
Explain
said
to me
was.
this.
All I said
Explain
was.
to me this. Explain to
let
me
finish.
this. No, you've had enough.
All
Explain to
I
me this.
said. All I said was it's a little harder for them to get their first steps. That's all I said.
Now why? Tell
because
me why.
they're brought
Talk
up.
to me.
They're brought up in a lower
Talk to
income
me.
society.
Now, hang on. Talk to me.
They're
Let
brought
him
up.
speak, let him
Most
speak.
of them are brought up in a lower income society.
Okay.
So their parents, some of
Let
them
him
can't-
speak, and then you
can't-
can
Do you know?
speak
Do
to
you know?
rebut.
Do you know where I was brought up?
Yeah.
Where?
Where were you brought up? And you're not going to college. So
But do you know where I was brought up?
I don't know, Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you just say about Buffalo?
More black people live than white
Okay,
people.
but you're saying okay. Now let me give you an example of why white privilege and black privilege and whatever you want to say doesn't
Well, your dad
exist.
got a lot of money and moved you to a white neighborhood.
That's not what happened.
It's not an inherently white
Well, he's-
neighborhood.
well, he got
Because
money.
I went to school, I graduated high school, I got a job.
Yeah.
Now I have a car, an apartment,
Yeah, but
and a job.
okay.
Okay. So what makes me different from a black person? Why can't a black person pick up a book?
You're a
go to
dime a
school?
dozen, Joey.
Oh, I'm a dime a dozen.
Yep.
Really?
No, it seems to be that's always your
So now
1 in a million.
here's the thing.
Dime a
So
dozen.
now here's the thing. Why can't a black person do the same
They
thing
can.
I did? Because
they can. It was probably a little harder for you.
Okay, they can.
Because
Right?
guess what? Because I mean, it's probably a little harder for you to get your first steps.
They
But if
can.
you really want something, you
gonna
have
get it.
you
I
have.
know everyone
you
has
know,
equal
the
opportunity,
resources.
but
Yeah.
it's just for some people that are brought up in a poor society.
Yeah.
It's a little harder for them
Yeah,
to get their
that's
first
true.
steps.
That's
That's,
true.
that's
It's
what I'm
true.
trying to say. I'm not saying that they don't have equal
See,
opportunity.
the problem with having
But
this
you
type
believe
of
in white
debate-
privilege.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
No.
I
But
could
listen,
rewind the clock back,
listen.
and it literally.
The
you
problem-
To a very small extent.
Okay, so you
we're-
do believe in white privilege.
Well,
The
It's a
problem
yes or
with-
no.
not on an individual scale, but mass, yeah.
Let me finish, Dom.
Okay, go.
So you do believe in white privilege?
To a very small extent.
Okay.
I think most white people are brought up in higher income societies. And I think that families have more money and they have a little easier. I'm not saying it's impossible for a black man to become successful,
That's not true.
but I'm saying it's a little harder for them than it is for a white man from where they start.
Why do you? Why is that? Do you think there's
Some
we're still
black
racist?
families
Do
can't
you
even
think there's
afford to
still
send their
race
kids to
problems?
any school at
So
all.
you think there's still racial segregation now? Is what you're saying?
Well, there is segregation. I'm not being racist, but look at Buffalo. The majority of the population is black.
Yeah.
I'm saying there's
it's also the inner
segregation
city.
isn't a bad word.
It's the slums.
Yes,
Okay.
that's where they live for the
But
most part.
there's a bunch of black people in
Look at
Lancaster.
Idlewood, where we're living right now. Most of the people here are Indians.
Okay.
We are a segregated society, whether you like it or not.
But you're here and you're not
We're
Indian.
living here.
We're a dime and a dozen. Because look at every other house; it's Indian.
Listen, this is the problem with having these type of debates. They're great to have, but they usually cause a lot of controversy because there's such a large gray area involved with these type of debates. You know, I mean, a lot of it's really contradicting. Sometimes the opinions and the facts even will contradict themselves. It's like, you know how he was talking about white privilege. I mean, you believe in it or you don't. A lot of people are in that gray area where they don't know because you said a little bit, but for certain reasons. But it's such a broad topic.
Well,
it's hard to talk about.
Let me ask you guys a question. When it comes down to race in America, how many more white people are successful? Like, if you go to the top 1%, how many of those are white? Top 1% of like people.
Yeah, what is successful?
Like why? I'm asking you
A high
guys
rate,
why.
a high
I'm
rate.
asking. Yeah.
Inherently, there is a greater chance of them being there because
Well, why do you
white
think-
men or white people make up a majority of the
maybe-
population
Yes.
here. We make up, what is it, like
because maybe your
74%?
average white man is less lazy than your average black man.
As a whole, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it might
It's a
might
cultural-
sound
it's a cultural difference.
controversial.
I mean, you go on YouTube, you look at the rappers and shit. That's all the black guys want to do is start
It's a
a rapping
cultural. It's a
career.
cultural difference, I think. Because when I work at McDonald's, I get very few complaints from white people, but when a black person comes through, they always have something to say to me. And I'm not being racist, but I think they have a little more of an attitude.
Oh my god.
I'm not.
As a whole.
I'm not being racist, but
I'm
black,
listening.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not.
black people.
I'm not gonna.
That come through my drive-through, they'll get mad at me because.
Yeah, but that can
'cause-
has something to do with
'cause the
shit
fro-
that they've
no.
been going through before they
Yeah,
got in your
but
drive.
No, it's on a majority. It's always like every time I see a black person in the window, I'm like, okay, where's the complaint? And they're usually 90% of the time it's like my fries are cold. You didn't put the sauce in. I want more sauce. There's not enough the meat on the sandwich, bacon or something like that. That happened last night.
But it can happen with white people
But
too.
it does.
It's
But it
a
happens
fair-
more with black people.
Then that's
Screamed
just
at
a
white people
that's
all
just
the
a
time.
statistical thing. Then that's just your
I'm just saying
McDonald's
it's a
statistical.
cultural difference.
Let's see how many complaints
There is a
that
truth
are.
to it.
Yeah.
Like what's with
You
the
know what I mean, Joey?
What's with the stereotypical?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I
See what
guess
I mean
that's
by
the gray area. Yeah, I
it's
guess
crazy.
that's the gray area.
It's crazy.
Because you might have more black people that come through the drive-through than white people, and that might be why you see that might be why you see more black people being angry.
Because I work there and I have.
He's speaking hypothetically.
I'd say 75%.
I'm saying
of them are
hypothetical.
white.
I'm saying
75%
hypothetical.
are white.
That's just your McDonald's. I'm looking at all the
Well, yeah,
McDonald's
Count every
drive-through
fucking
statistics.
person,
Not, I didn't count. I'm getting a rough estimate.
Meanwhile, Chris, keep this in mind. This is just for that area.
That McDonald's.
You know
That
what
area.
I mean?
Yeah.
It's
So you'd have to
It really can't even be
go
studied.
to every
really.
McDonald's and study it.
It can't
That's
be
what
studied,
you would
no.
have to do.
it really it can't really
Every
be,
person's different.
It can be studied, but at the same time, it can't be brought up without sparking a controversy.
It's hard. Yeah, that relates back to our bubble.
Yeah, that does. That actually does. That does relate back to it.
And if this offended anyone, I'm sorry for popping your bubble. Sorry. That's just the way free speech works in America.
Yeah, well, maybe it's still alive.
And that's
Maybe
why
just a
that's
little
why you can't get your videos monetized
And
anymore.
in no way, shape, or form am I racist. I'm just trying to state facts.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's entitled to an opinion.
You
know what?
can't have free speech on YouTube anymore.
Well, yeah, because YouTube's a corporation and they decide what they want on their channel, on their
Website.
website, and what they don't.
Is that right or wrong?
That's
No, that's right. It's owned by a liberal.
No. I mean, is that right or wrong? Like,
Oh.
It's
Is that-
wrong.
is
Well,
that-
no.
because if you make let's say you make a platform such as YouTube, and it's your platform, you have control of what goes on there.
Well,
If someone steps out of your boundaries, do you have a right wait, do you have a right to say, no, I'm taking this down? But then you also got to factor in how big of a platform YouTube is and how many millions of people use it on a daily basis. You
Well,
know
I
what
think-
I mean? Like, once
yeah.
it starts getting to that grand scale, now it's just everyone has access to it. Now, should it actually be, you know, what's it called? Like, censored? Should it?
The
I
owner
mean,
of the owner of YouTube should be able to do whatever they damn well please
right.
with YouTube.
Is,
because-
even with, like,
It's-
so many millions of people?
Yeah, it's their company, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea for them to make it the way it is. I think it's wrong of them to.
But you're saying that you don't agree with it, but you think that it's their company, they have a right. Which is true. It's true. I agree. Would you agree with that, Joey?
It is their company.
Like, do you think they have a right?
I think when they created the rules and guidelines of YouTube, I don't think they should be subject to change. It should be like the amendments.
Well, no, it's their company though.
Right, but they have rules and guidelines.
YouTube is owned
By
privately
corporation.
by somebody.
Right.
The Constitution
Google.
is not owned. By
I understand.
Google.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Doesn't
But
Google
there
own
is
Google
there
owns
is a
it, yeah.
rule and guideline system on YouTube. What you
They
can
can change
and
that
cannot
whenever
post.
they want.
But should they be allowed to?
I don't think it's the right decision, but it's not our decision to make. It's
Once
theirs.
they have the rules and guidelines, is it subject to
And
change and why?
we can't get offended if they do that because it's their company and that's what they decided to do. I mean, think of the advertisers on YouTube. Like, if you want to make money on YouTube and you have advertisers, it's the advertiser's decision to decide if they want to advertise your video or not. If you're talking about something the advertiser doesn't like, they're not going to advertise your video.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's selection right there.
And, you could talk about whatever you want on YouTube. You're just not going to make money and you might get your video taken down, but it's censorship. But it's not like YouTube's the only platform. You could put your video wherever you want.
Yeah, that takes us to, that takes me, in my mind, to media outlets.
But
They are private organizations, but they are they are private organizations, right, Nick?
I believe so.
But they are pretty much required to not censor anything. I mean, not required, but you know what I mean. Like, it's expected of them to not censor anything.
I think
Because,
censorship is...
they shouldn't. I mean, the media should not be censored.
For another podcast.
No.
Oh, you guys are ending it, or what?
Well,
I wasn't.
I gotta go pick up someone.
Well, we can continue me and Dom. You
You got-
We'll continue. Me and Joey will have an intellectual.
Wait, like,
No,
you're not
you're
gonna
good.
you're not
Go
gonna
ahead.
end it without me though, right?
No.
I'll be back in like 20 minutes.
All right. Did Joe leave?
I don't know where the hell. No, his phone's still
He
here.
honestly got upset with like how the podcast.
His
was.
phone's still here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly though, we're on a good track with this podcast.
I think it's going.
even though it had its craziness to it, which they always seem to, because it's just a group of guys
You
that's
know,
in this podcast.
I
but-
before I leave and come back,
Oh my god.
I gotta say, yeah, maybe we do have our arguments, but that's what a podcast is. At the end, we kiss and make up.
Why?
No, I'm saying like we can argue with each other all. Like Joey's mad at me right now on the podcast.
I'm
right?
not mad. I'm not mad.
He's pissed. He doesn't like that I'm arguing with him, but
No, I don't like that you haven't given anyone any time to speak whatsoever. here.
but no, what at the end
But
of
it's
this
okay,
at
go
the end
ahead.
of this podcast, me and him are still gonna be buddies.
Yeah.
So that's
You're
the
pushing
thing.
it.
That's bubbles. People should be able to, before I go, people should be able to argue like we are right now, have different opinions, but in the end, we're all human beings.
Not be mad.
Actually, in the end, we're all apes.
Apes. That's a wise man at work, Gary, said that once. I'll be right back.
Did he really?
Well, he said we fling our shit at each other. He did say that. Gary's like, we fling our shit at each other, we're apes or some shit.
Yeah, the only difference now is
I
it's
think that-
nuclear bombs.
Yeah, no. I think he means he's speaking figuratively.
But I think, Dom.
He doesn't actually mean we're flinging our fecal matter at each other.
No, yeah, definitely a figurative.
Sort of
Yeah,
speech.
Gary's a figurative guy. I like that.
Yeah, I know censorship's gotten worse. Is Alex Jones has been on YouTube, on the YouTube platform for over 10 years when YouTube was created, and now they wiped him off the face of YouTube. So you can tell that right there that society's changing. Society is becoming more censored. Everything's becoming censored. You can't speak your mind.
Well, Alex Jones, he did it to himself.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm just
10 years
messing around.
though, he got away with it. Why all of a sudden? That's
Wow.
why.
Well, I mean, my initial thought is that times changed that quick.
Yeah. It has.
And now I think faster than ever. We don't know what's coming next, man. We don't know what's coming next. We can't predict anything at this point.
No, I could wake up tomorrow and maybe my favorite news source will be
Gone, yeah.
Gone.
Eradicated. Excommunicated.
like what, and then it's like there's talk about like having to pay for like outlets now and like having to like pay for like an online service. You already pay for Wi-Fi, so technically you're already paying for the internet.
Yeah.
But having to put like a subscription on
These aren't the days where there were so little people around that everyone just communicated with each other, and everyone was the news. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The people were the news. We've
extra read all about
we
it.
have now 350 plus
Mhm.
million people in the United States. I think we deserve to have a major, unbiased news organization that will put out news and educate us through thick or thin.
But how can you even begin to create an unbiased news outlet? How? Because no matter who's writing it, there's always bias.
You got to have some sort of fact checking. You got to have that's actually a good question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, because when people go to form a news organization, a lot of times I feel like people will form it with their own agenda. You know what I mean? Let's
Yeah.
form a news organization, or let's form.
But
any
let's push
organization.
Let's push
Let's
this
push this topic. That's how we're going to start this off. You know what I mean?
Right.
And what happens from there? It's a snowball effect.
Okay.
They start hiring more and more employees with similar thoughts. They're all on the same page, so
Sure.
to speak.
Sure.
Right? I mean, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It isn't a bad thing if you have other news organizations that are the opposite to counteract it. You know what I mean?
And that's kind of what
So
we
maybe
have.
we need multiple. Yeah, we need multiple.
So there can't just be. There's all. It's like red and blue.
Yeah, we gotta have the left. We
You
gotta
gotta
have the
have
right.
left
we gotta
and
have
you
the
gotta
up and
have
down.
right.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way it works. You can't have the middle. There is no middle ground. There never will be a middle ground. There won't be. Because
Yeah, well, we can.
you
only
have to
hope.
push either one way or another way.
We can only hope. And you know what? I think it's true. Just how we are, humans as a species, we're just.
But it's good to debate, though.
It is good to debate. Humans as a species, though, are very. We follow
Like
a
a
certain
code
group.
or a group.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So like
I feel like
we
there's-
follow the
there's
leader a
not
little
too
bit.
many- yeah, like
There's not too many.
what is it called? We classify ourselves. We label ourselves. We like to.
Yeah.
We enjoy it.
Right.
We like to, square our people of similar interests off
Mhm.
with each other, which is actually detrimental to our future.
Mm-hmm.
But it's ingrained in us.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do we counteract that? We have to come to our differences.
But here's the thing:
What?
should we counteract it, and why should we counteract it? Because
If we counteract it.
if we
it goes against-
counteract it, it goes against everything we've known. It's a completely new society now.
Yeah.
So you have that gray, we're all in the middle, everybody's the same sort of deal. But everybody's not. You see, we're all free thinkers. We all are able to form our own opinion. And that's why I think it's an impossible task to form a middle ground. Because everybody's a free thinker. And if one person's thinking one way, I mean, we have different thoughts, me and you. We're different people.
Yeah. For the,
So there is no middle ground, and there never will. There can't be. We can never live in peace. There always has to be a debate.
So you think there's
or a
conflict
war.
is meant to be?
It keeps balance.
Yeah. So conflict is meant to be. Do you think conflict leads to war? I mean, naturally, right? So do you think war is meant to be then? I mean, as bad as it sounds, I think it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you have to. Sometimes you have to have war. There has to be war
As
in order to
you know,
win.
as gruesome as it sounds, I mean,
And there always will be war. And I'm sure if we go millions of light years away on another planet somewhere, there's war.
Mhm.
And there's war, and there's war. Or maybe not. Because maybe on that planet out there, there's a middle ground. And that's what they've known forever. And that's it. And for them to come here and have a blue and red, a Democrat and Republican, it would be alien to them. You know, because they don't know what that is. So maybe they're living in the middle ground. But right now we
never
have
know.
red and blue. We just don't know. And maybe having the middle, I can't say if it would be better to live like that.
we need a common goal, and I think the common goal has died. You know,
To what?
we need a common goal.
Okay.
Because that, it's not going to guarantee that everyone's going to be on a common ground, but it's going to really make a difference.
Sure.
If everyone's on a common ground, if everyone's working towards one goal, there's not enough room to fight about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If everyone cared so passionately.
But there's
passionately about
common goals on each side, though.
something. Yeah, that's the problem.
Right.
I'm saying, you know, and there's so many different ways you could paths you could take to a different common goal, and one person goes down this way, one person goes down this way. Somewhere they meet, you know, they cross, and then that's where the fight breaks out.
Yeah.
The conflict breaks
Right.
out because it either stops their agenda or interferes with their process.
So that's war then.
It would lead to war.
Right.
Or
But
it
that's
could be war.
but that's the balance, though.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it's like a web if you were to look at it
Yeah.
from a bird's eye view in a, say it was a drawing
okay.
on a piece of paper.
Yeah,
would
break
be-
it down.
It would be a web. I mean, we all come from one source. It would be a tree actually.
Okay. Right. Branches.
It'd
If
start as one.
you have a
And then-
line.
And then say you got two lines that come off of that because that's two
Republican,
different-
Democrat. Let's say.
Whatever. Yeah, for this example, I
Okay.
guess. And then Republicans and Democrats, both paths,
Right.
each have 50 different paths.
Exactly.
And it just
It
spirals,
yeah.
branches out, and
It's-
it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Hang on one second. Let me stop you. Where are you going?
McDonald's one.
Want to give me some?
Yeah, what do you want?
McChicken plain, small fry, Dr Pepper.
I was gonna get you that anyway.
Thank you.
You're just getting food?
Yeah, what do you want? Nothing?
I don't
Big
know.
Mac?
Could you?
Big Mac?
he looked a little like
Yeah, I
yeah,
think that might be the
head
move.
jerked. Yeah.
Big Mac?
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
What a great guy.
Great guy. Middle ground.
Yeah, Nick is purple. Nick is definitely purple. He's blue and red.
He's red and blue. He's a middleman. But there's nothing wrong with being a middleman. But you can't have a middleman without a red man and a blue man.
The middleman, I feel like the purple takes a lot of heat
Yeah.
because they're
Damn
getting
straight.
But also
Yeah.
can put out a lot of heat though.
Damn straight.
Yeah, they could because the purple is where the common goal people may lie. If that makes any sense, I'm going.
No,
off on a
no,
tangent.
no,
I'm
no,
going off
yeah.
on a tangent here.
Yeah, but it can make sense. I don't know. Here's the underlying issue is there will never be peace in American society and on Earth. There will never be peace on Earth, and I think that's a hard pill to swallow.
I think you're right.
But there can't be. There's no such thing as peace on Earth because we're all
Yeah, it could be
Individual
Yeah, it
thinkers.
could be peace for.
It could be peace for me right now.
It could be peace for one people, but it could be hell for
But
another.
it could be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I want to start an uprising. I hate this. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But right now, I'm shit.
Constant cycle.
And it's just... So you know, we you figure it out. We figured it out. Can't have peace on Earth. And,
We just got to accept our differences. It's the best we can do. We have
Right.
to accept our differences. We have to realize that all people have their own agenda.
Yeah.
And I mean,
But it's good, let's say you were blue and I was red, or I was red and you were blue. It's good to get together and talk, to understand each other.
yeah, because
And maybe
who knows? You can come on to a
maybe become purple for just a little while, just in
to
this
remind
debate.
ourselves that we're human.
Right. But it makes us that's what makes us red and blue. It's like, yeah, we're each different, but we're the same.
It is really nice when you hit, that purple, that common ground with someone, even if it's just for a split second, because you kind of develop a slight, a small bond with
An
that
understanding.
person. Yeah, you might
Yeah.
not agree with whatever else they had to say. It's like remember the Trump and Hillary debates?
Sure.
They had those like 3 or 5 main debates.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, they were big ones. The
sniffles. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one of the news outlets, or one of the judges. What were they? The fact checkers.
Just whatever
Fact
they were.
checkers.
Yeah,
They had them. They had them each say something nice about each other.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And they asked Trump. I don't remember what Hillary said.
Yeah.
But I remember
Good
Trump,
hair or something like
no,
that.
No, he might have, but
Yeah.
he said that he respected her perseverance.
Yeah.
He said he respected how tenacious she was and
Yeah.
how she wouldn't give up.
Yeah.
That's a common ground.
That's a common ground.
He has that too.
Right.
And that's what he likes about her,
Mhm.
even if he doesn't agree with her. So I thought that was
Right.
great.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that
good.
they
It's
had
good
that.
to establish common
Yeah,
ground in a
that's good
debate.
sportsmanship.
Yeah, and it's like shaking your hand, or it's just respecting the game for what it is. It's respecting debates for what they are. It's just, yeah, we have differences, but we're all made of blood on the inside.
Yeah, you could always find something to admire about someone, even if you hate their guts.
Yeah.
I'm not a Hillary fan.
No.
I mean, but Trump is right. She's tenacious. Like, she wouldn't give
perseveres,
up.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could.
Like, I was like, when's she gonna kick the bucket already? Like, that's the type
Yeah.
of like thing I was thinking.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, good for her.
Yeah.
At least she's going out there and doing it and pushing her side. Even though I don't agree with her side. I don't want her side. I don't.
She's exercising her right.
But that's her right as an American, and you got to respect that.
yeah.
I don't hate her. I don't hate her guts.
That's what's great about the platform of America is that you can always find a common ground with someone.
And that's the purple, just for a little while. And that's what makes.
That's what makes us, stay together for this long. Is
Yeah.
the purple. The purple is what,
It's
what-
peace for a moment.
Yeah, but that's enough
Mm-hmm.
to just get by. It's what's keeping us together. It's like
But
the glue.
there can't be peace forever.
No.
But to have peace for a moment is what makes peace so valuable.
Yeah.
Is that it doesn't last forever and that it ends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And even though everyone wants it, it just doesn't happen.
And it can't. It's
For
impossible.
longer than however.
For longer than, let's say in a debate topic.
Yeah, right. For longer than either, a few seconds or
To days. Even.
to days. It's even lasted years
Yeah.
on some occasions, but that's for different circumstances.
Right. You can look at peace as, let's not say peace on earth because there's no such thing, but let's say peace as in America, as the U.S. Peace in the U.S. in the United States. So what would you say would be the years? I would say the booming 50s or 60s.
But this is what I go back. This is what I was saying about it's peace for one and for one people and it's hell for another. Think
Right.
about the blacks.
Right.
I mean, segregation was huge.
Right.
Like they suffered.
Right.
They did. And I feel for them. Like that's terrible that happened.
Right.
But, like you said, like that certain group had peace and then their group they had hell.
Mm-hmm.
And
So it's-
you can't change that.
Right.
It happened.
Yeah.
But you can always look back upon it to reflect upon your choices for the future.
Right. It's like what we don't want to do.
Yeah,
Like
let's
what,
not
how
go
we
down that
fucked
path
up.
again, yeah.
Like we fucked up. Let's not do it this way.
Right.
Let's try it some way else.
Yeah. So I mean,
I don't know. We had to learn.
yeah, we
So that had to happen. If you think about it, which I know a lot of people, a lot of black people actually, like Kanye West for example, that says slavery was a choice. What do you think?
Oh, that I actually.
What do you think?
I actually thought about that for a while.
Because
And
I'm surprised
That's
that
a
a
great
black
idea.
person said it. Because
Yeah.
that's something I always thought as a white person. I thought I was wrong for thinking that.
yeah.
But the fact that Kanye could say it and be like, okay, well, I thought that for a while,
Here's the issue.
but I don't know.
with me on that topic because I've actually put a lot of thought into that.
Okay, well, let's
'Cause
hear it.
I remember when you were talking about it when he announced that.
Yeah.
I remember you were talking about it specifically, and I was thinking about it because people. I think you were asking me
Mm-hmm.
like what I thought about that, and I saw both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I really did. It's such a gray area.
Yeah, well, that's.
I seen both sides, and it left me rendered without a belief on the topic.
Okay,
it's
so
just-
you have nothing.
yeah, I mean, it was a choice. Let's say it was a choice because they had an option of uprising.
Okay, which they did,
Well,
so to speak.
not really.
Well, do you think
we-
they outnumbered us? You think? I think there was more blacks than whites in at that time. What do you think? Like whites as in like slavery leaders, let's say.
No, I don't think there was because only a certain amount of people, a small number of people, were actual slave owners.
Okay, yeah, right. But that's
But-
what I mean. Like that small percentage. Even though
Yeah.
those slave owners,
Yeah.
that was a small percentage.
Yeah.
I'm saying the blacks outnumbered them. The blacks outnumbered. There was more
See, I don't
slaves
know.
than there was
Possibly.
slave owners, right?
Possibly, they could have, revolted,
Right.
but at the same time, they knew nothing
Right.
outside of their little world.
Right. Like
So-
that was.
So that
They were born into that.
they were very well kept in order,
Okay.
and
Which I agree with.
they were, scared.
Yeah.
People are scared.
I'd be
like,
scared, yeah.
It's survival of the fittest. You don't
Yeah.
want to risk your life,
Right.
like doing something, and you don't know if everyone else is on
Yeah,
board.
like what if? Okay,
Because
I could tell you this one
I
night.
guarantee you
yeah.
there are some people that were just fine with doing it because
No,
they were
yeah.
too scared to do anything about it.
It's like, this is the way
let's
it's gotta
say
be.
you're that one slave that says, "Let's do this. Let's get the fuck out of here,"
Mhm.
and then you look behind you and no one's coming with you.
Right.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
So that's both sides for
Right.
you.
That's both sides. And do you think Kanye was wrong to say that, or do you think he just doesn't see the other side? Or do you think he
I
does see
think
the other side, but he believes more that it was a choice?
I think
Because I think he's an educated black guy.
he had
I
every
think
right.
he's-
He had every right to say it.
Yeah.
Let's start with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think he was in the wrong for saying it at all. But that's
Yeah.
not what I'm saying. I'm saying, what do you think? Do you think he was right for like saying it? Like, do you think he was right for thinking that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You could be right. You're in my eyes. You're right either way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, he's right, and someone else on the other, opposite end of the spectrum that says, otherwise than him, they're right too.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I classify personally as, instead of, talking about the nitty gritty of it,
Yeah.
why don't we reflect upon it and say, let's not go down that path again,
Yeah.
because it was just a shitstorm of
And it's
it's
honest,
crazy.
yeah, it's a thin line too when you get there, because it's like you say you can upset people by talking.
Yeah.
That's the bubble thing
Everyone
too.
knows it happened.
Yeah.
It happened. Let's
Right.
not do it again.
Yeah.
Instead of fighting over it.
Yeah.
You
Like
know?
we do,
Like we do because we got nothing better to do.
and that maybe that's why there's a little segregation nowadays, is because they're still holding a grudge against us.
Yeah. I mean, not all of them.
No. It's no, but there are that few that think, oh, we were slaves. Fuck,
Yeah.
well, fuck white folk.
Yeah. Well.
And are they wrong for thinking that? We fucked them over, but that was a long time ago. We don't live like that anymore, but maybe to them we do. Maybe there is still segregation to them. And maybe they're right.
I could see how they'd be angry.
Yeah, of course. I could see why they hold a grudge. I don't know how they would.
But at the same time, because I put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be pissed about it, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it'd be behind me.
Right. Past is past.
So every new, person you met
Yeah.
it's a different story. It's
Right.
a new opportunity,
Yeah. I agree.
So it's just like one of those things, you got to leave it behind you. What happened, like you can't cry over spilt milk.
Right.
because
So-
there's no point. It just incites.
And because of that happening, it's where we are today.
Mhm.
So where we are today obviously isn't the best of places, but it's the best we got. Because it's the past is what made us who we are
It's the only
today.
thing we got.
And it's the only thing we got. So there's no change in it. So
Yeah.
we obviously have to live with it.
Yeah, I mean, in my eyes, let me make up a scenario.
Okay, let me pull this chair
for you.
I gotta sit. I gotta stretch my back out.
And let's make up a scenario. So let's say there's a black man and a white man,
Okay.
and you know the black man's minding his own business, doing whatever he's doing,
Sure.
and the white man makes a racial comment
Okay.
against the black man.
Sure. Just pick this up real quick just to see where we're at here. 120.
So what options does the black man have at that point?
Okay.
He could either he could, you know, fight back.
Well, first, okay. Say your question one more time because I don't think I understood it.
So there's a black man and a white man.
Okay.
Say the black man's minding his own business.
Okay.
The white man, hypothetically, says something racial to a black man.
Okay.
He has...
Which
just say,
happens.
yeah,
It happens.
it happens
Yeah.
all the time.
It does.
Let's say, just for math's sake,
Uh-huh.
the black man has two options.
Okay.
Because since this is...
Which there's
hypothetical-
unlimited options
Yeah,
technically. But
but for,
the
you know,
two
this is hypothetical.
branches. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Option A,
Yeah.
he could fight back.
Okay.
Whether it be arguing,
It could be physical. verbally,
anything, any
okay.
sort of arguing,
Yeah.
or it could just be, you know, ignore it, laugh it off,
Yeah.
type thing, and
Yeah.
just like move on with your
Yeah.
life. See, I would see it as if you argue back
Mhm.
and you know, you add violence to his violence,
Mhm.
to his verbal violence,
Mhm.
you're just stooping to his level.
Mhm.
You're just stooping to his level.
Right.
You're not making a change for the good.
Mhm.
You're not putting it behind you. You know, it's I don't know if that sounds bad or...
Well, what do you? I don't think it sounds bad.
I mean, this is hypothetical, but I mean, that's just my opinion. I was
It
always
could be
taught,
the other way around, too,
I was
though.
always taught that
Yeah.
if someone starts shit with you,
Yeah.
when you fire back at them,
Yeah.
they're getting what they wanted in a way,
So
and you're stooping to their
down.
level.
Yeah, that's what I was taught too.
So I mean,
So like when I argue with somebody, I'm just like, you know, I might
But sometimes
verbally
the
attack
anger
them
gets the best of
sometimes,
you.
right? But sometimes you can't. There's like anger you can't control. I mean, stir something up in you.
We're angry people,
We are angry people, Dom. We are angry people,
and sometimes we can't fight the rage.
we did some pretty fucked up stuff. I'm not talking like us as individuals,
I know exactly what you mean.
but I mean us as Americans.
yeah,
Think about it.
America's done some fucked up shit.
I mean, it's scary to actually think. I mean, the history books. I'm not one for history books. I usually do my own research. I think the history books kind of school system are shaping what you think and shit like that. But what I know, obviously, I know about. Let's do a topic. It could be World War II. It could be Hiroshima.
Okay.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at if we did something like that today. In the shitstorm.
In this shitstorm.
In this shitstorm, but I mean, imagine the shitstorm it would cause.
Yeah, it'd be.
So, like, we dropped the bomb. America dropped the bomb on Hiroshima. When, I mean, that's fucked. That's us, man. Like, that's America. We have to live with that.
You know,
That's how people
even
associate with
even
us.
if we were right or wrong.
Yeah. And that
It's
wasn't
still
a
like,
racist
it's still
thing.
something that's on our chest.
That wasn't even a racist thing.
No, I
That
mean,
was like a
it was a
war,
war.
thing.
Yeah, it was war. I mean, even if we were right or wrong, I'm
Yeah.
not even going to get into that.
Right,
If we were right
because
or
I
wrong,
don't
we're just
know.
saying like we still got to live with that.
Yeah.
Because if someone
And so
comes,
do they.
if someone comes up to you
Yeah.
with a gun
Yeah.
and is about to kill you, and
Yeah.
you pull out your gun and shoot them, save your own life,
Yeah.
you're in the right. But
Right.
still, you got to live with that.
Yeah.
You got to live with
Like, I
killing
killed
another
him.
human being.
Mm-hmm. And it fucks you up. And I can only imagine if there was some other way that we could have won the war. without having to do such an inhumane thing like that. Even though the war was inhumane in itself, I mean, killing people and going to war is inhumane, but maybe it's not. Because like we said, maybe it has to happen. But something so bad like that, a bomb that killed all the innocent people. There were innocent people there. The purple was there. Okay, there might have been red and blue there. There might have been the ones that, oh, let's fuck America up. Oh, I don't really care if we fuck America up. And then there's the middle ground. And we killed both the middle ground and the people who didn't want to fuck America up.
This is why some people, certain groups, hate America. They're not proud to be Americans. But if you look at it from my perspective, our perspective, probably.
Probably.
I mean, like you said, we've done some pretty terrible things, but this is all we got. And there's a lot of great qualities about our country now. We have to look at the positive things, and that still makes me say that I'm proud to be an American.
Well, I am too. I'm not proud of what we've done to get here, but I'm proud that I'm living there.
Yeah, you know,
I'm happy and I'm proud that, I wouldn't have the balls to do what they did back then.
No.
I wouldn't want to do what they did back then.
And we're so fortunate to be living.
We are so fortunate. Even if we
past all that
even if
shit.
we don't feel like we're fortunate, which sometimes I feel like I'm not, to be living in this society, because we're always like, oh, what if we were born in the 80s or the 70s?
because it's America, it should be perfect,
Right.
But I mean, if you look at it, other countries, there's so much poverty, man.
So yeah, I mean, I'm proud. I'm proud to be an American, even though I'm not proud of what the past was. I'm proud of where we are right now.
So does that wrap it up?
I think that wraps it up. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, that was
Welcome back.
that was oh, we're actually ending it right now.
Well,
We just got done.
really, what were you guys
What's up, Sparky? We just wrapped it up.
Like, what was the wrap up? What you guys?
Oh man, you'll hear it.
Well, yeah, but can I see what you guys were saying? Like in the last 20
It's
minutes.
over. It's
It
too
was-
much
it
to
was
say
crazy.
in the last 20
What
minutes.
was it like? Can I just have a overview so I could maybe
Just about
my last? I want to do one last point. I'm
just
back.
about America, man.
Y'all looking handsome.
Tom, we're
as
Saying
fuck,
how we're
man.
proud to be an American, despite all the bad things we've
Just
done.
what we've done.
Because we're still here and we still live a decent enough life.
Well, it would be nice to see the day where everyone in the world can come together despite their race and nationality and just work together as a simple human being.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
But there's no such thing. And that's where we're going to end it. So,
Well,
thanks for
Kim said
tuning
we
in.
wanted to do the song. Make
And
the song.
you ready?
Yeah.
Do-do-do. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, dum, 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 dum.